I am Ndumiso Madonsela, fashion designer of Beast Couture, and I come from a small town, rural town actually, of Kwahlabisa.
So Kulelega Gahlabisa.
Yes.
Describe Gahlabisa for us. Just paint a picture.
Kwahlabisa is from where I come from, Kwahlabisa, it's actually it's a rural area.
Okay.
It's got a lot of natural things. We actually have a game reserve. We have rivers. We've got mountains. Not just mountains, like we still have like the rich mountains full with the greens. It's looking at the career that I'm in right now. I'm not a person you would think actually comes from there, a product of Khumalo. It's one of the places where people actually do not think that people can actually make it from the town, but I actually pulled through, and one of the major things for me, besides actually making it for myself, is actually inspiring people and the youth that is still there, that there's a bigger world out there. There's opportunities. You don't have to be stuck in where you come from, because it does not define you. Because like, look at me, I'm a product of a rural area. I mean, I can't even wear my gowns where I come from, but I've actually taken what I can do and I've presented it to the world, and the world received it. So it's possible.
What was it like growing up there?
We were my grandmother was a very strict grandmother. We were just couch potatoes, actually house potatoes. I can't call it prison, but Ekaya, it's a very guarded place. It's very secluded from every place. You know, the rural areas, your neighbors about 10 kilometers away.
Yeah.
But there it's like semi-rural, but still like in the mountains. But with the place that we're in, it's in its own space. It's more like Iplaz, it's got a very big space. So you don't really actually go anywhere for entertainment, because everything is just here. So we never really went out, but there was a lot. My grandparents are farmers, so we actually had lychees here. We had, if you want to do tours, you get lost in the garden for 2 hours, and you come across bananas, nachis. We have lettuce, cucumber, basically everything you want to eat. You just go to the garden, you pick it up there, you come back, make your own green salad. Everything is just there. You make your own fruit salad. It's mangoes. So yeah. It actually taught me a lot, because growing up with grandparents, they still have their different system, which is not dominated by the 21st century behavior. They still insisted on the things that they learned from their parents on us. So it actually still is in me to actually be that person without diverting and not say acting old, but there are just things that ground you to be a human, to be an African child, to be yourself. I mean, after cameras, the Job in July, the fashion show, you meet a lot of people, but one key to actually conquering everything and not being overwhelmed by a lot of things is just being yourself and keeping to what you were taught.
Who were you growing up? Like, what kind of child were you? Were you playing around, or were you all alone?
I was alone.
Oh yeah.
I've always liked my own space. But you know, I started when I was 14. When I was in grade 8. I used to get dirty. Like, you get your more dad, man. I was very adventurous. I remember the other time there's a river. They told us that there was a python there, and I took my cousins who were like little 7-year-olds we were like, we're going to hunt it down. We stole our grandfather's tools. We were going there and we heard something. I think it was a monkey. We ran, we left the tools there. And it was shy cool because we needed to go fish his tools at the river.
Oh.
And but I've always been the lead in everything. Like I've always the one initiating. I was the one taking upon the bigger roles, the responsibility. So yeah.
And how do you think that translates into who you are now? Are you still
That
the lead?
independent.
Well, I'm a boss, yes. Yeah. I kind of have to incorporate that now into business. It's actually worked. It's worked fine because I think if I didn't take up those leadership roles, it wouldn't have helped me because throughout my primary and high school and tertiary life, it's always been a matter of being a prefect in the SRC, basically from primary. It's always been class rep, high school, grade 9, 10, 11, when I got to the boarding school. I was part of the SRC as a boarding school. I joined the SCO Nakon. I was part of the committee. I was in charge of the finances. I was in charge. Working with money. I used to sell schooling there was cake sales in primary school, and there was market day, and I was the leader of that group that was selling every single term, and we actually managed to. We were selling every single term, and we ended up getting an award for that, the best entrepreneurs of the year, because we were selling like 4 years running.
So you have always been a very business-minded, a very disciplined person.
Yeah, but I never saw it like that time. But it just kicked in now. It's always been. I've always been about business. Yeah.
How was it like staying at boarding school, and when did you start staying at boarding school?
Okay, at boarding school I actually started the time I got there, grade 8, and I left when I left, which was a matric. But at boarding school, it actually grounded me.
Yeah.
There are so many rules at boarding school. There were rules as escoleni, there were rules as a classini, there are rules as a boarding house. You have to report to a boarding, what do you call this, a boarding master. There's basically rules for everything, and then having to be a class rep, being in charge of the SCO, you come back and you are a SRC as a hostela. It's just a lot of responsibility. So I could say I couldn't do as much things as I wanted to because I was always so grounded. Every time I wanted to do something, it would always be like, I've got 3 positions and everyone is going to be looking at me. So it just never, but it was a good thing for my parents because every time they got to school for parents meetings, it was always like a good report. There was never a time where it was like saying so it was good, but and it was fun. I had some fun moments, but it grounded me a lot.
Yeah, that is dope. When did the love for fashion begin?
The love of fashion began, I think it's always been there, but I only discovered it when I was in grade 9. Yeah, I was in grade 9. I saw a lot of people drawing cars during study time, and I wanted something different, something that would just separate me from the rest. And I actually ran into some page in magazine that had this beautiful outfit, futuristic, very theatrical, done by Terry Magla for Beyonce's wardrobe for the I Am Such a Fierce album. And I looked into his work. He was not designing just to get a body into that. There was a story behind every outfit, and it wasn't something that could be worn just anyway. It was, you needed to be brave enough to actually get into those pieces. Some were made out of metal, some were just glass. It was amazing, and I wanted to actually create things that were not for just anyone and not for the sake of just wearing stuff, you know. So I think the love has always been there.
And how do you feel, who inspires you in the fashion industry?
Ooh, Beyonce. But my favorite designer at the moment, I've got two. There's one African one and one American one. He's Italian. He's actually working under Balmain. He's the head designer, or he's the head creative in the house of Balmain. It's Olivier Stang. I know. And then in Africa, it's a Dubai-based designer. It's Rami Al Ali.
Okay.
And then, but in terms of personal pieces, it has to be the collections at Dior, when he was still, when he still had Jean-Paul Gaultier as his head designer in the company. Those pieces were insane. They were a mixture of couture and avant-garde. They were just there. But at the moment, it's just two designers, because Olivia works with a lot of beadwork. There's a lot of pearls, and none of it is like shortcuts. It's hand beaded pieces. Some of it looks really impossible, but he actually does the things that need to be done, and he's able to incorporate. Because I always thought you cannot take avant-garde and tone it down and make it something wearable, but he's been able to do that. And with Rami Al Ali, it's just the construction. His is very couture, it's very elegant, it's for evening, it's ladylike, but the pattern construction of it is very delicate, to the point where I always see myself in those designs. They're really beautiful.
How do those designs and their designs influence your own designs?
When I got to the fashion school, I actually discovered Uti. I love patterns. I love something really complex, because the main thing for me was to inspire even other designers, but to a certain extent, to the point where even if they want to copy me, they would just have to sit down and be like, how exactly did you do this? So it's always been like, I was very fascinated by beadwork, handwork, creating an art piece, and it's all, for me, I think the more heavier the outfit is, the better, because I think it just gives it that thing, like, I'm in it, I should walk a certain way, for me, it's not just the outfit, it's the makeup, it's the hair, it's the shoe, it's accessorizing, it's the people that will be receiving it, it's how you walk, it's the whole package. Like when I took off an event, already I'm envisioning Mndela, the reaction, like it's me, it's always like brainstorming. So I think with both these designers, they both do something that I love, that I incorporate in my designs. It's complex. It's very theatrical. It's big. Sometimes not big, but it's something that is very daring. And in most cases, I think that is why in most places they rejected my designs, because they felt they were not for an everyday person. Because a lot of things, they want retail, something that is sellable, and then they kind of forget that not everyone is in for ready to wear. It's not everyone that will design a typical outfit for someone to wear to the office or the party. Some of us are just, we want to pour out on paper. We just want to pour out and create a story around an outfit, and the longer the story, the bigger the outfit.
You speak about rejection from certain places. How do you think that, or how did that affect you in terms of like your creativity? Is it something where you were like, no, maybe I should try to be a little less, or did that just inspire you to just keep going and go bigger and bolder?
It actually played both ways.
Yeah.
The first time I got rejected to the point where I was like, I need to change my designing strategy. And I tried to change it, it just couldn't happen because I couldn't design anything else other than how I feel.
Yeah.
And I remember when I actually got into the 25 top finalists for the Durban July, I was like, okay, so I think there's a sign that I should keep on doing what I'm doing. And to the point where, like, you design, you get rejected to the point where it even inspires you. If you are that person that is actually thriving to get what you want to get. Because I've had a lot of people telling me that you should be at a certain place, you should be doing this project runway, this, that. But I always explain to them that there are certain guidelines that they're looking for from designers, no matter how creative you are. But they're always going to be looking at certain things. And you always find out that when I'm watching certain shows, I never get inspired because they're looking for certain people and a certain amount of creativity that is limited. But it inspired me to actually get myself to a point where they now want me and then I can reject them. So it's really inspired me because I think now I'm not just designing to be well received by certain competitions and certain places and certain fashion weeks. If I have a certain clientele that I can cater for and that can receive my designs, and my company is able to then evolve from those people, then I think there's literally nothing for me to worry about. It's just a matter of me working hard at that.
Working hard. Like, fashion is a very stressful, there's deadlines, there's just a lot of things happening, and you're working with clients, some are not happy. How do you balance it out? How do you take time out to be like, yeah, this is time for me to rest now?
Oh, okay.
For time to get my creativity back again.
I don't really plan it.
Okay.
I don't really plan, but I know that there are certain times when I get to relax. That's usually only 1 or 2 days after a show.
Okay.
And the only way I can actually get to unwind is just sleep. It's just sleep it off. But for me, it's never a thing of I need to just sit and relax in order for me to actually, like, constantly when I'm working this way, because I'm constantly on the net, I'm socializing. So whatever I come across, I'm like, oh my god, I gotta look at this. But the only time when I get to rest is not merely about me getting inspiration and regaining myself. It's just about really resting. Because when I'm saying I'm resting and I'm gaining, it's more like I'm still working. So I just take time to rest and I use it to really rest, and the time to work is just time to work. But it's maybe once in 2 months.
It is believed that fashion is art, and as an artist you need to create something that you're confident in. Where does that confidence come from? You know, to say I'm gonna do a bold outfit and I'm proud of it, and I'm just gonna give you full flames one way.
Oh, okay. As designers, we are very different. They are bridal designers, there's streetwear, there's, and I found that a lot of designers do not want to wear the designs for some reason. I find that really dodgy. Like, it's very dodgy. I mean, you never see, you will see Pro 2C, Bonang, Boiti, and whoever is, they all be dressed by David Lal. But he will not show up red carpet. I'm not sure if maybe it's the thing of they just want their work to shine and not them. But I always think that even if you are the designer, it's not like they're gonna strip away the fact that you made the outfits. I mean, you constantly need to be marketing yourself, because the minute you actually relax, you never know. The person that you actually see as they're not really competition, like you never know, because fashion is a dog eat dog world. So the minute you rest, it's you blink, open your eyes, your market is taken by somebody else you never expected they would. So I think with the outfits, with myself, I always design an outfit that I would want to see myself in. Even though I'm doing ladies' wear, which is where I think it set me apart from the other designers, because I've seen with in July, it's always the models are just gonna be there and they're gonna be showcasing some designers thing, but the designer will be nowhere to be seen, or they'll be just there at the back wearing Mr. Price t-shirt. And I'm like, why are you marketing Mr. Price instead of marketing yourself? So I always try to actually get my models there, but I want to be the star of the show. Because
It's your work.
yes, it's my work, and I feel that's just one event where you get to network, and the more they actually know about that designer.
Okay, so you've been talking about fashion.
Yes.
So there's you and there's fashion. Let's get to know you. Like, describe the person that you are in any way that, I don't know, kind of defines you.
I'm very complex.
Yeah.
I think sometimes I don't even understand myself. I'm a very complex character, but I know that if you need anyone who's gonna be a friend, I'm that person.
You're a good friend.
I'm a not just a good friend, I'm a very good listener. I take everything seriously that has to do with relationship, whether it's friendship, relationship, but anything that will actually bring us together to a point where we're like, okay, I can call you a friend. It's very hardworking.
Yeah.
So, and sometimes I'm very inconsiderate, but for good reasons.
Okay.
You might come for me looking for advice, and I might be the person to actually bash you instead of backing you up. Only because I will tell you the truth. Like, if you're wrong, I'll be like, I'm wrong, I really love you, but
Honest.
you're a piece of but because of these reasons.
Yeah.
So
That is.
I'm a wine fanatic.
Ooh,
I
okay.
like I love wine, some good wine.
Okay. Sweet or dry?
Depends.
So every wine has a mood.
Everyone has a mood. If I'm gonna be having anything with pasta, it's gotta be dry.
Yeah.
Anything sweet, it's got to do with your pastry dishes.
Yeah.
If it's got to do with if it's gonna be light chicken dinners with any sauces, we're doing white, sweet.
Can you cook?
Of course.
Are you like kind of like chef vibe cook?
I love cooking.
Yeah. What's your favorite meal to make?
I do not have a favorite meal to
Really?
make. Yeah, but anything tasty.
Okay.
Yeah. Christmas. Okay, we usually have like a Christmas lunch slash dinner, and people make it like it wasn't really an official event until we decided to make it official. So we kind of dress up just for us. We dress up, we make appearances. It's almost like someone's coming out of a limousine, just coming out of your room, this dazzling outfit, just to come sit at a table. And I'm can try a little tenure pick. So so I love trying out new dishes.
Yeah.
And kind of ran away from the whole 7 colors thing. It's always now about plating,
Old
like
style.
like plating, like it needs to be like that.
That is dope. What motivates you?
A good idea.
Good idea motivates you.
Yes.
That's
Um,
dope.
I think waking up every single day, knowing that there are people literally waiting to see how you are growing each and every single day, not in a bad way, but people that are really interested in like seeing you grow, and people that are interested in and that believe in your passion and drive you to the point where you feel like you've been overworked, but it's just literally people that want you to be the best you can be and to work your full potential. It's one thing that really drives me when I'm like, okay, if I do not do this, there are people that are, it's almost like the dimension. I can't really skip it now until there's really an emergency, because even if I had to be in hospital, they'd have to carry the hospital bed to the actual venue, because I understand we'll see the dimension. From it, it's an announce, so it's constantly DMs like, what will you be wearing? Because I think like 4 years ago I just created this whole hype of what I'll be wearing. So now, even if now saying as a phone, it's always like a thing of people are always like
DMs.
Yeah.
That is dope. What is your best or most memorable fashion story? You being,
I have several.
your favorite one, or the one that comes to mind?
Wow. Oh. Okay. Oh wow. Like I think every opportunity has been amazing, but I think winning designer of the year, getting my first prize, which was the machine, a trophy, certificate, and having an article published about me, that was amazing. And I think from there it's just been work after work, and and I also think one thing that every time I think I'm not there yet, and I see like people are kind of ahead of me, and I look at all these big designers, but I'm like, I'm only 24, and the things that I've achieved are just, I mean, I've worked with people that I never thought I would work with. And it's, when I look at it now, it was like, I worked with the person, then like a year later, I'm like, oh my god, I actually worked with this person. Why wasn't I hyped up that time? Like, it's always like that thing where you are so engrafted in working so hard that you literally like switch off, and to the point where I think even if Beyonce herself had to request with her team, okay, we want this, it'll just be work mode. And I think after maybe she's posting the thing, I'm like, wait,
that's me.
I actually did that, because I've seen like in a lot of times where I'll be so engrafted in work, and I work with public figures, and after that whole thing, and I sit down, and I'm like, oh wow, this is me. Oh my god, this is
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, it's just being so engrafted in the work that you just forget who's who.
Yeah. Now that we are in the whole spirit of celebrating women, and in Bogotazit, we'd like to hear a message from you to in Bogotazit.
You know, when I started Beast Couture,
Uh-huh.
it was about a fierce woman. Actually, I was designing for women who are villains, but good villains. Because you know, there's especially like those Disney characters, Maleficent. That was the kind of woman I was aiming for.
The ununderstood one.
The ununderstood woman, the woman who walks into the office and she just, everything goes silent. The woman that is not dependent on anyone, anything but herself. The woman that people just do not want to associate themselves with, not in a bad way, but they're like, we cannot mess with that woman because she's just, that was the kind of woman I wanted to. Hence, it was fierce, fun and fearless.
Yeah.
So the fierce was for that fierce woman who also understands that in that fierceness, she needs to actually take time and have fun.
Yeah.
But in everything that she does, she's very fearless. So with bees, it's always celebrated women. And I think women are very phenomenal human beings to a point where they are never understood. And it's only because they have a lot in their mind that they can't even express what. So I think being a designer, you not only get to understand women, but you go to as far as understanding their bodies. Some of them come and they never really understand what's good for them. And because I've worked with so many women, I'm able to tell what a woman wants or what a woman needs at a certain point. So, gosh, I talk a lot. But I think it's a very short message that just stay beautiful, stay fierce.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Stay beautiful and stay fierce.
Stay beautiful, stay fierce.
It's beautiful. Wish you all the best with your journey.
Thank you so much.
Continue shining, and we'll call you again and be like, we need you, even though we're calling you assistants, and we're like,
Awesome.
can we have this interview? Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.